Wait. Let's get one thing clear. 3 days are not enough to enjoy everything that Taipei has to offer. But don't worry, it is possible to experience its best highlights. In this video, tag along so we could show you how. Hey there, poor traveler, we are Vince and Josh. Taipei is one of our most visited cities, and for a reason. It is an incredible destination packed with attractions that would leave you wanting more. So yeah, 3 days will feel like getting a tiny sip of the best boba milk tea when there's a whole tank of it in front of you. But with its highly developed facilities and reliable public transport system, you can still make the most of your time. This sample itinerary will help guide you zigzag across Taipei faster than you can say Xiaolongbao. But trust us, it's worth the hustle. It's fast, intense, and you'll leave with a smile and a bag of pineapple cakes to remember it by. And by the way, for this itinerary, since we only have 3 days, let's just stay strictly within Taipei City. This itinerary is also useful for those who will be attending or watching the World Masters Games happening on May 17 to 30th, 2025. It is an international, multi-sport, and more inclusive event that will bring together athletes from over 100 countries, age 30 and above, amateurs and professionals alike. If you're interested to participate, registration is now open at this website. Day 1. Ximending. If you're coming from the Taiwan Taoyuan International Airport, you have 2 main public transportation options, the MRT and the bus. Both Terminals 1 and 2 have their own MRT station, A12 for Terminal 1, A13 for Terminal 2. But here are the details as of this recording. Just find out the closest MRT station to your hotel and follow Google Maps directions. Or you simply prefer the bus, head over to the bus counters close to the arrival hall of the airport. These buses are operated by various companies, and travel time and fare vary depending on your route and destination. You can find more specific info on the Taoyuan Airport website. We'll link to it in the description of this video. If you're arriving past 2 or 3 p.m., then go ahead and check into your hotel room. Otherwise, just drop your bags for now and let's start exploring right away. Our first stop, and only stop for today, is Ximending. Worry not, there's a lot to see and do here. You won't even notice the hours pass. Sometimes called Taipei's Shibuya, Ximending is a kaleidoscope of lights, street performers, and shops bursting with knickknacks you never knew you needed. It has an almost electric energy to it. This neighborhood is where Taipei's youth come to flex, snack, and shop till they drop. So, get your game face on and let's head out to explore one of Taipei's most vibrant areas. If you're coming out of Ximen Station, the first thing that will catch your attention is the Rainbow Road. Thanks to its row of colors and the crowd that forms next to it trying to take their IG shots. It isn't just a street, it's a statement. These colors splashed across the pavement turned an ordinary crosswalk into a full-on celebration. Taiwan has been a trailblazer for the LGBTQIA+ rights in Asia, and the Rainbow Road is Taipei's bold high five to the community, showing off its pride with every bright stripe. People flock here, cameras in hand, ready to immortalize their moment in all that colorful glory. Photo bombs are inevitable, but that's part of the challenge. Most of the time, street performers also use the corner next to it as their stage, and by performers, we mean various types. There are the usual singers, bands, and dancers, but every now and then, you'll also see mind-blowing stunts that will make you stop and stay a bit longer. Cross the adjacent road and you'll be greeted by the Red House, a historical gem that's managed to stay relevant through decades of reinvention. Built in 1908, this octagonal red brick building has worn many hats: a theater, market, and now a museum/shop. Step inside and you'll find indie craft stalls, LGBTQIA+ friendly spaces, and local artwork that put a modern twist on this old beauty. cross the road again in the direction of the Rainbow Road, past the Walker Arc, and you'll eventually reach our next stop, Pop Mart's flagship store, the Disneyland of designer toys, where shelves groan under the weight of collectibles that will drain your wallet but heal your inner child. Known for its adorable figurines and trinkets, this place is ground zero for those looking to snag a quirky souvenir, especially of Labubu, the now insanely popular and arguably addictive character from the Monsters. It's such a crowd favorite, there's always a literal crowd in front of the store. And yes, Labubu items, especially the plush keychains, were sold out when we visited. It's dinner time, and Ximending has a feast for every budget and taste. We'll be mentioning 3 food stops for now, but we actually tried more. We'll be creating a separate Where to Eat in Taipei video where we'll be sharing more detailed descriptions of each establishment. So watch out for that and subscribe to this channel if you haven't yet. If you're on a budget, head to Aichong Flour Rice Noodle for a fix of gooey, umami-packed rice noodles. This is street food at its finest. No seats, just grab a bowl, stand on the sidewalk, and savor the flavor. It's only 60 Taiwan dollars per small serving, but it's really good. No wonder there's always a long queue here. Every serving is filled with silky noodle soup topped with a bit of offal, which surprisingly did not have any trace of nasty smell or aftertaste. If you have more moolah, find the One Yan building and go down to the basement where you'll find a food court, but look specifically for Longshan Temple homemade noodles, a Michelin Bib Gourmand awardee. This humble establishment has been serving bowls of piping hot beef noodles since 1949 that it's already a Ximending institution. Vince ordered the beef brisket noodle soup, while I had the so-called Three Treasures noodle soup, which had brisket, tendon, and tripe. We could easily tell that the noodles were handmade because they were not uniformly cut. It was firm, just the way we liked it, and swimming in a broth that was deep and perfectly balanced. Every bite of the brisket was succulent. And they're also known for their dumplings, which we ordered, but we'll describe it in another video. If you're with a group, say family or friends, or you're just feeling royally hungry and want to go big, find the Taipei Wenting Emperor Palace Hot Pot. A hot pot spot that would make any emperor proud. While waiting for your table, you can try on elaborate costumes to really embrace the royal theme of the place. There are robes or gowns from ancient dynasties and channel your inner emperor or empress. It's not every day you get to feel like an actual ruler while waiting for your broth to boil, so we grabbed the chance. The whole experience adds a playful, immersive twist to your meal. Yes, let's talk about the food. They offer a wide selection of fresh ingredients, like prime cuts of meat, seafood, and veggies, all waiting to be dunked in either a homey clear broth or the extra savory and spicy mala soup. After you feasted on all the proteins, you can dive into the freezer full of Häagen-Dazs flavors to top it all off. They have 16 flavors and you can enjoy as much as you want. Yes, unlimited ice cream. I had caramel biscuit and mango raspberry. We'll be breaking down this dining experience in another video. After your meal, find this tiny stall selling freshly fried crispy milk donut. You might have to wait in line for a bit too, but that's usually the case for anything delicious these days.
Donut na sobrang crispy, just ilagyan nyo ng mikmik sa ibabaw. Pero masarap siya.
Wash your dinner down with a cup of milk tea. But as you already know, Taiwan is the land of boba. So, it might be hard to choose which one to try even here in Ximending. Every single Taipei local we met recommends 50 Lands Boba Milk Tea, recognizable by its yellow and blue branding. It's a chain, and you'll find a couple of branches here in Ximending. 50 Lands version is classic. No frills, no gimmicks, just a perfectly balanced blend. With just the right sweetness, smoothness, tea fragrance, and chewy pearls. And we agree, this is also the best milk tea we've tried in Taipei.
Normal lahat yung in-order ko. Normal sugar, normal height. But hindi pa rin siya ganun katamis. So, perfect.
But most tourists seem to be magnetized by Sheng Fu Tang's flagship store's loud and flashy presence. You won't miss it because there's a long queue any time of the day. We've tried your classic boba milk tea before, but On our most recent trip, we had its best-selling signature brown sugar boba milk. A bit overpriced, but the roasted brown sugar on top added a bit of playfulness to the smooth, milky drink. If you'd rather have it as an icy dessert, head over to Kenting Dandan Duway Nai. I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing it correctly, but here they serve milk tea in the form of shaved ice treat, like this. End your night with a stroll through Taipei Cinema Park, where graffiti walls make for perfect Instagram backdrops. It's street art galore, so pose, snap, and soak up this cool, colorful vibe in this often overlooked section of Ximending. You'll also find this, Wowland, an inconspicuous claw machine haven. There are countless claw machines in Taipei, you'll see them everywhere. But what makes these particular machines remarkable is that you could actually win something if you have the skill. It's not rigged, or at least not as rigged as the others. When we enter this place, we never leave empty-handed. And that's it for day 1. I told you it's a bit packed, but buckle up because we've only just begun. Today, we'll be exploring two of Taipei's most fascinating districts, Shilin and Beitou. Start day 2 with a visit to Beitou's thermal valley for that mist that rises eerily from green sulfuric waters. Talk about steamy. When you arrive, you'll be greeted by this small fountain where you can feel the water and give your hands a bath. But as you walk deeper, you'll eventually see the steamy hot springs that look like nature's giant cauldron. While you can't take a dip here, it's mesmerizing to watch. Walk around, catch that sulfur-scented air, and soak in the slightly mystical atmosphere. Before going, try some tea eggs sold by the shops in front of the entrance for a very light but on-theme breakfast. Then, walk to your right where you'll find our next stop. Step back in time at the Beitou Hot Springs Museum, a former Japanese-era bathhouse. Built in 1913, this well-preserved architectural charm showcases the golden age of hot springs in Beitou. It's a beautiful nostalgic slice of old Taiwan and makes you appreciate the cultural layers in Beitou's steamy past. When we visited, there were busfuls of Japanese school children on an educational tour or field trip, so it was more crowded than usual. But otherwise, it's usually very chill and relaxing. As in any onsen, you'll have to remove your shoes and deposit them in lockers. But you'll be provided with slippers. And just follow the marked trail around the museum and you'll be good. After this, it's time for lunch. Decide whether you want a bowl of beef noodle soup at a proper sit-down eatery or eat your way through a food market. If you go for beef noodles, enter this on your Google Maps app. You should reach it in less than 15 minutes on foot. If you'd rather walk and munch at the same time, head over to the Beitou Market. It's closer, roughly 10 minutes on foot. Okay, it's beef noodle time, Taiwan's soul food in a bowl. Suchi's Beef Noodles serves up a hot bowl of, well, beef noodles. The actual noodles are firm and chewy, which I like, and then drowned in a rich broth. Their signature noodles has the same 3 treasure toppings: brisket, tripe, and tendon. But if you're not that adventurous like Vince, go for its beef brisket noodles. We loved how tender the meat was, and the tripe was thick, with plenty of meat still attached to it. If I compare it to Lao Shandong's version, this one wins the meat game easily. But Lao Shandong had more flavorful broth, in my opinion. But it's still a very satisfying bowl. Don't be surprised if you find yourself slurping away, eyes closed, lost in noodle nirvana. If you're not in the mood for another helping of beef noodles, or if you've got room for dessert, and let's be real, there's always room for dessert, then head over to Beitou Market. Beitou Market is where you'll find everything from fresh produce to local snacks and household essentials. It's one of those places where you'll feel like a local, shopping shoulder to shoulder with Beitou residents. Expect to see heaps of fresh vegetables, fruits, seafood, and cuts of meat, but it also houses street food stalls offering everything from handmade dumplings to braised pork. If you've worked up an appetite from exploring Beitou's hot springs, it's a fantastic place to grab a quick, budget-friendly lunch, snack, or yes, lest I forget, dessert. Here you can sample quirky local treats like soft pastries filled with red bean or egg custard, or chewy mochi balls. Okay, it's time to head to our next stop, the National Palace Museum. Whether you're coming from Beitou Market or to the mentioned beef noodle place, take the MRT Tamshui Xinli line to Shilin Station and then catch bus R30 and get off at the National Palace Museum because it's time for some culture! The National Palace Museum itself feels grand, surrounded by lush gardens. With over 700,000 pieces, it's like stepping into a time capsule of the imperial dynasties, filled with intricately crafted jade carvings, stunning calligraphy, and beautifully preserved ceramics that tell the story of over 8,000 years of Chinese culture. But here's the thing, it's a big museum, huge, and it's easy to get lost in its galleries. And if you want to see every single piece on display, you'll probably need more than a day. So plan your visit wisely. Research which pieces you want to see and find them inside. In our case, we let this Google Arts and Culture article lead the way. It listed out 6 of the must-see pieces inside, and we made them our northern stars. So these are this bronze ritual wine cup, this ceremonial bell made of bronze from 1046 to 771 BCE, these pieces used in rituals by the ancient Liangzhu civilization, these figurines of female polo players in the Tang dynasty. The next 2 that I'm gonna mention are probably like the most well-known pieces inside. The first one is this jadeite stone meticulously carved to resemble a pak choi. It's so jaw-droppingly realistic. And this meat-shaped stone, which is actually made from jasper that looks exactly like a slice of braised pork belly. Of course, we also checked out the other rooms along the way, but to make our visit more interesting, we used this list as like a list of goals, like a checklist. If you want to spend the rest of the day inside the museum, which is a tempting option when it's raining or if you're just tired, then go ahead and do so. As mentioned, the museum is vast and rich. Just wait for dinner time and head directly to Shilin Night Market after. Take bus R30 or S19 to Shilin Night Market. If you feel like you still have the time and energy, squeeze in a visit to the next stop. Take bus BR13 to the Air Force Headquarters and then walk for 14 minutes to the Martyr Shrine. The Martyr Shrine is like a mini palace dedicated to fallen heroes. Built in traditional Chinese architectural style, it's a grand tribute to the soldiers who fought for Taiwan. The shrine itself is stunning and peaceful, a nice breather after all the sightseeing. But catch the changing of the guard, which happens on top of every hour from 9 AM to, I think, 4 PM. It's an impressive ceremony where guards in crisp uniforms perform their routine with military precision. A similar routine happens at the Chiang Shek Memorial, but this one is extended because you get to watch them walk the entire length of the site, from the entrance gates to the shrine and back. From here, take bus 902 or R3 to Mingchuan University and walk for 7 minutes to our final stop of the day. No day in Taipei is complete without a night market stop, and Shilin is the granddaddy of them all. While its basement food court is under renovation, there's still plenty to eat. Here, the most famous is Hot Star Large Fried Chicken, which we tried many years ago, but our local companion recommended something else, something that she claimed even locals line up for: hometown barbecue chicken. Like Hot Star, there's also a queue that forms toward it, and it's also a giant piece of breaded chicken cutlet. But this one is really juicy and packed with complex flavors, brought about by its complicated cooking process. It's most likely brined, seasoned, and breaded before getting deep fried. And then, get this, it's grilled after it was fried. giving it a slight smokiness, but it all makes the difference. It's really good. The best fried chicken we've had in Taipei. Granted, we haven't tried that many, but still. Once you've had your TAIPEI fix, walk a bit to Good Friend to have your dose of carbs, in the form of cold noodles. Good Friend Cold Noodles serves bowls that are oddly refreshing. I know it's not often used to describe noodles, but it was indeed refreshing. It was refreshing. Something we desperately needed after hours of just walking around Taipei. It's deceptively simple. Thin, bouncy noodles, doused with a rich, creamy sesame sauce for that nutty base, then garnished with shredded cucumbers for extra crunch and a hint of citrus for freshness. It's simple, yes, but cheap, filling, and delicious. And it has a Michelin Bib Gourmand recognition too. Okay, with this, time to call it a day. Head back to your hotel, sleep tight, and prepare for your last day in Taipei. Day 3. Start your day early, pack up, and check out of your hotel. You can stash your bags at the hotel reception or find the metro station locker and pick it up after your sightseeing. But this morning, you'll be paying a visit to some of Taipei's most beloved landmarks. You can do it by MRT or by double-decker sightseeing bus. If you choose the MRT, prepare 20 to 25 Taiwan dollars per way. Just download the Google Maps app and let it guide you with the transfers. It will tell you the directions, including which MRT line to take and which station to alight at. If you choose the double-decker sightseeing bus, know that the 4-hour pass normally costs 300 Taiwan dollars. But if you purchase tickets on the bus itself and you use MasterCard, you'll get 25% off. It's also available on Klook and KKday if you'd rather book online. And if you do, just use our promo codes displayed on the screen or just check the description of this video. You can catch the very first sightseeing bus at Taipei Main Station just outside exit M4. There is a marked bus stop there. From here, hop on the bus and get off at your first stop of the day, which is the city's most famous temple, Longshan. A masterpiece of traditional design and spiritual energy. Built in 1738, Longshan Temple has survived fires, earthquakes, and even World War II bombings. Admire the dragon columns, ornate wooden carvings, and the intense devotion of locals who come to pray here daily. One thing I noticed though is that there are no incense sticks here. Apparently, incense has been banned by the management to improve the air quality in the neighborhood. Instead, worshippers may place their offerings on the table. This grand memorial honors Chiang Shek and is Taipei's statement piece with massive white walls, striking blue-tiled roof, and an enormous bronze statue of Taiwan's former leader. Inside, learn about his life and legacy while marveling at the architecture. Be sure to catch the changing of the guard here too. This is the world-famous Taipei 101, towering over the city like a giant bamboo shoot or a stack of Chinese takeout boxes. Whether you go up or just admire it from the outside, Taipei 101 is a sight to behold. At 508 meters tall, this was once the tallest building in the world. It no longer holds the record, but is still a monumental achievement in architecture and engineering. This skyscraper is capped with an observatory that enables sweeping panoramic views of the city. Here's a game. While you're atop Taipei 101, try to find all the other landmarks and attractions that we visited on this trip. Start with the Chiang Kai-shek Memorial, that's the easiest one, and then work your way backward. Another interesting thing to catch a glimpse of here is its tuned mass damper, which stabilizes and keeps the building standing and is a reminder of Taipei 101's resilience. The building also houses offices and retail shops. Speaking of shops, just close to Taipei 101 is a complex of shopping malls including At For Fun and Breeze Nanshan. If you still have time, you can spend the rest of the day shopping. And if you don't, then pick up your luggage where you left it and head to the airport. And just like that, you've conquered Taipei. If you went shopping, you can get a tax refund before you check in for your flight. Just follow the signs at the airport. And that's it! 3 days is more like a whirlwind romance, short and sweet. But like I said, Taipei has a lot more in store. But that should give you a reason to book another flight and give Taipei another go. In our next video, we'll show you some of the most underrated places to visit in Taipei. That's all for now. Remember, plan smart, travel safe, and make every trip worth it.